back-to-back fire episodes, my enjoyment level for Boruto has gone through the roof. You could feel the Kishimoto in the quality of this story arc because he wrote it, and that's probably why it's so good. Now let's get right to the action because the dialogue between Sasuke and his daughter Sarada took us there, and I don't really know if I want to talk too much about the dialogue because it's kind of depressing. Sasuke didn't break his fall at all. You know, the part where he nearly kills his daughter with this sword? You know, he really needs to watch for his sword because he almost killed Naruto with that same sword in this week's episode. It's just like, for Sasuke to say, mind your own business, after neglecting his daughter for more than a decade. It's indefendable. He's a terrible father. He's on that Goku level. In the recent Dragon Ball Super chapter, Vegeta said that Goku's a horrible father. Well, I feel like that could apply to Sasuke as well because he's just not good. Even Naruto had to throw in some words of wisdom, and his household ain't in order at the moment, right? You got Boruto feeling neglected himself, and he's running out, so it's just a total mess with these guys, and I'm guessing Sakura doesn't help as well because even though she's there, and even though she is taking care of Sarada, and even though Sasuke uses that as a justification why he don't need to be there, ultimately Sakura didn't inform her daughter on the truth regarding the photo and just Sasuke overall because Sasuke was an enemy at one point in time in the Hidden Lee Village, and that photo would expose a lot of that stuff. I'm sorry, but that's just one of the dumbest excuses I've ever heard. So I don't know how much I want to cover the dialogue between daughter and father this week. Let's just get right to that action because there was so much to love about it. Now, after Sakura flees her bed because she ain't want Shizune to do all those examinations when she's stressed about other things, in particular her daughter, we get this transition scene before the fight starts and we see all the different Shins, right? And we see the main Shin taking off his cape, right? And he looks us dead in the eye and he reveals his goals. Apparently he wants to revive the Akatsuki. And it's times like this where I wish I did not read the manga because one of the Shins put up a pretty decent fight against Sarada and Chocho. Now granted, he's fighting Sarada and Chocho, but we actually saw some of his abilities and he even has the Mangekyo Sharingan. The dude has some really cool abilities, so when you see the main one with that bald cyborg looking appearance, all the veins on the head, the two Sharingans, and he's looking at you with the glow, the evil sinister glare in the eye, I'm thinking that this dude is going to be a heck of an enemy to take out. But as cool as they appear to be, they already make one grave mistake, and it's pretty dumb because it's like they have the ability to stalk everybody. They know what's going on. They've got that weird plankton with that one big giant eye that could see everything, right? And very quietly as well. He gives off no traces of presence. These guys think it's smart to attack Sarada because they're ultimately trying to lure Sasuke in when Naruto's there, and it's like, you think you could take both Naruto and Sasuke on? The Hokage and his protector, the two halves of the Sage of the Six Paths Chakra, two characters that were vital in the Akatsuki's defeat, their ultimate downfall, because Sasuke ended up taking Itachi out, who was one of their biggest assets, and then Naruto obviously took Pain out. So immediately, you know, even though their appearance is sick, I mean, the leader's got an arm filled with Sharingans. I wonder how that's possible, right? Very similar to Danzo's situation, but if you know about Danzo's history, you could almost link the two things together. Even though the leader's got this quantity of warriors at his disposal, something ain't clicking right in his head to do things like that. Like, you just don't attack Naruto and Sasuke together, right? That's a mistake that too many villains made. When those two are together, you dip and wait for a better time to attack, because if they isolated it straight to Sasuke, right, and his daughter, maybe they'd actually have a chance. Against both of them, no way in hell. These two come flying down out of their little portal, raining down all these blades, right? And then you got Naruto there just deflecting all that shit with Kurama, right? Absolutely awesome stuff. He's protecting Sarada, and then it's Sasuke that goes on the offensive, right? And that one scene between Sasuke and Shin was probably my favorite scene in the Boruto NARUTO Next Generations anime thus far. Because Sasuke's there in midair, blocking out all those blades. He thrusts straight at Shin, right? Shin ends up sending one of his grunts his way. Sasuke uses his Rinnegan to swap them two, and he just blasts them with a fireball jutsu. It's just like the overlaying of techniques in midair got me wet. When was the last time we see Naruto do something like that, excluding the movie when he fought Momoshiki alongside Sasuke, right? Because Naruto will use his Kurama chakra reserves, right, his Nine Tails chakra reserves to maybe use his chakra arm extensions to chase Shin down. But he ain't really hustling like that. He's not moving around like Sasuke. You know, soon Naruto's gonna be as fat as Choji and Chocho. In many ways, Shin's beliefs about evolution, about being on the run, about constantly being stressed. When humans are stressed, they produce the greatest results. I believe that, and Naruto's living proof. I mean, even Kurama said, like, you're getting rusty, Naruto. You gotta start putting in work and training, otherwise you're gonna fall apart completely and Sasuke's gonna take over. I think that's a little exaggerated. I, as a Naruto fan, know as much as Naruto goes down, he will always get back up and he will always be in the fight. I'm just saying, like, Naruto looking a little bit rusty, right? In fact, it was Sasuke's sword that nearly killed him in this week's episode. I mean, if it hit a vital spot, it would have been something else. It hit him right in the gut, right? And ultimately, he doesn't have to worry about recovering and, you know, fixing up those organs because Kurama Chakra is just that legendary. It's just like God. To be honest, the both of them did sort of get nerfed to some degree. I mean, you can't honestly tell me, as much as y'all hate Sasuke, that when Sasuke was charging in at Shin, that his sword would just slip away, like his grip was that weak. That basically, like, this dude, even though he has that ability on his palm, because it's actually explained through, he has that magnetic ability on his palm so he can manipulate anything that he touches with that mark. It makes sense. But you think Sasuke's grip is that weak to where his sword would just fly out and you know, it stabbed Naruto? And Naruto didn't really even feel that shit, if you want to be honest. It took him a couple seconds to realize that he even got hit. So Naruto getting stabbed, Sasuke getting all those blades to the back. I mean, he got violated protecting Sarada, right? He had all those blades basically charging in at those two and there was no longer that protection. Somebody got to jump in and protect those two. I was very satisfied with this fight, and they even gave Sakura the spotlight. She came in there stomping this dude down. I mean, he had blood gushing out his mouth. Like, it's very rare that the anime will take it that dark, and surprisingly, they gave a dark moment like that to Sakura. I think the studios just got tired of the entire community, like, shitting all over Sakura every single week, even though she doesn't even do anything half the time, and they decided, like, you know what, haters? Here's this Sakura moment for you. What are you gonna do about that? She's the one to save the day. Even though it's kind of weird that Naruto, Sasuke are in this predicament, and yet all of these different Shins, with of course the ability to like foresee everything, they can't see Sakura coming in there and smashing their leader. But it's all par for the course because Sakura ends up getting taken away, which I was just laughing my ass off when it was all going down because I'm just like, yo, Sakura, now she gotta be in this other, like, she can't get no love from Sasuke, but now she gotta be in this other dimension with all these other Uchiha, and she about to get, like, not DP'd, like, tree-peed, maybe quadruple penetrated, like, yo, there's gonna be a lot of Uchiha dicks ready for Sakura. I feel so bad for her, but I was just laughing, like, I couldn't help myself, and it makes sense that it would go down like this because if Sakura came in there, saving the day, and everything went well, I already know how many people would absolutely hate that. Because it's just a little underwhelming. After all the damage they dealt those two, they get absolutely nothing they want. They're like very disappointing villains. It's just like everything ends up happily ever after and they get captured. Nope, we got our boy Plankton there with this magnetic like Kamui ready to suck Sarada in, but she of course doesn't get captured. It is Sakura, and I don't know like how to really feel about Sakura getting captured because it's like on one hand, you know, you could think what you want about Sakura, but I kind of do feel bad for her. It's like she's there all alone with all these Uchiha. As strong as Sakura is, as, you know, heavy of a blow she could deal to like one or two of these guys, if there's like 5 or 6 or 7 or maybe even more, how is she going to deal with all of them? We're just going to have to wait and see how this all fleshes out. I am so excited to see Naruto and Sasuke now working together to, of course, save Sakura, to stop the Shins, because now they're all forced to work with each other. Whereas Sasuke always want to be alone and Naruto want to be in the office. Like, nah, none of that right now. Now you got to save Sarada's mommy. Even though Sarada herself's got a lot of questions that will be going unanswered throughout the next couple weeks. I felt really bad for Sarada. When you saw those tears running through her eyes as she was going on that tangent, basically, you know, questioning if Sakura's even her real mother, and Sasuke, like, do you even care about your own daughter? Like, I recognize you, yet I haven't seen you in so long, and yet You don't recognize me, your very daughter? It's child neglect, it's child abuse. For Sasuke to be like, this has nothing to do with you, it certainly has a lot to do with her right now, though.